what's up, guys? Rampedi here. It's a new season of Playing the Field with Shakes, and the DSTV Premiership is back. We gotta talk about it. Let's go.
That's how it goes?
They keep asking about the best when they know it's me.
Okay.
Asking about the rest when they know it's me.
Straight in, I guess.
You know it's me.
The DSTV Premiership is back, but it didn't come back in the banger that I would expect it to come back. It was only 10 goals that were scored this past weekend from 8 games. Underwhelming, I must say. But the league serves up a hot one tomorrow. Sundowns against Kaizer Chiefs. You know, last season, this fixture, Downs handed a beating to Amakosi. I mean, they really beat them up. You know, they scored 4 goals. And Kaizer Chiefs had no reply. And you know what? I think it's going to happen again. Yep, I think it's going to happen again. I watched Kaizer Chiefs against Chippa United this past weekend, and they looked like a side that was still figuring things out, especially up front. Like, no one knew where to go or who to play where or where the strikers to be. The attacking movement was a bit poor too. There was no plan to score goals. And also, it was more like they were passing in hope than to actually know, like, that one is going to be making that run. I should be able to find him. And the one credit I will give them is that at the back, Kaizer Chiefs look a lot more solid. No doubt about it. So do I think they'll concede 4 against Mamelodi Sundowns? No. But I do think Mamelodi Sundowns will still hand them a beating. And that might be in possession. And that might be in movement. And that might be in controlling of a game. Because at this current moment, Kaizer Chiefs cannot do it. So what am I expecting? I'm expecting Sundowns to hand them a lesson. I'm expecting Rulani to tell, or at least teach, Molefenteke how to actually set up a side. Let's look at the odds. The odds, it's an easy win. It's an easy win for Mamelodi Sundowns. Look at that, they're favorites. Even Betway thinks they're favorites. Wait. Do you have a problem with what I said, Chiefs? Do you have a problem with what I said? I tell you what, how about you prove me wrong? Huh? How about you go to Mamelodi Sundowns and prove me wrong and show me you can do something else? Because from my prediction, I think Mamelodi Sundowns is going to spank that ass. A presenter at Power FM, a broadcaster at SuperSport, I simply asked him, are you disappointed that Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates let Sundowns win 6 times in a row? His answer. Another big guest on Playing the Field with Shakes, a presenter at Power FM, a broadcaster at SuperSport, but most importantly, a gooner. Thabiso Tema, how are you doing?
Absolutely great, Shaky. Good to be here with you. And absolutely, the important role I have in life is as a gooner.
100%. Look, man, I really hope that there's fortunes that are coming this season for Arsenal. That's for sure. You must be feeling that same, no?
Oh, 100%, man. You know, I'm so optimistic, nervous about the season ahead as well, because, you know, we've set the bar kind of high for ourselves.
Now, 100%, I'm really hoping that Arsenal can bring that home. And look, Arteta's won it before, which is the most important thing. I have to tell you, Titi, one of the most things I've always wanted to ask you, right, was I remember you on comms for a long time, you know, and I just wanted to figure out, for the consistency you've been doing it for, like, how long have you been in the football space? I just remember that, you know, I just remember it for a long time. How long have you been in the football space for?
So, in terms of me being commentary, I mean, as a sports broadcaster, I started around 1996 with SAFM. And that was just as a sports anchor on the breakfast show. And then in those days, they used to have a dedicated sports show, a live sports show. I mean, that was amazing, where we had 4 hours on a Saturday from 3 o'clock to 7. And then while I was there, I got an opportunity to actually audition for commentary. And the first bit of commentary I did actually was for radio. And I did commentary for SAFM because, as I say, we used to do live football, live rugby. So I got to go and do a match live for radio. And then I joined SuperSport in 2009 and been there since. So, yeah. That's the sum total of my involvement with this thing.
Wow, man, I did not know it stretches that far back. But one thing I was always sure of when I was growing up was that voice. I've heard it a lot of times for a long time. So before I get into like DSTV Premiership, right? I just wanted a word on Banyana, their performance at the World Cup. You must be really proud, of the ladies.
Oh, I think we all have to be super proud of their efforts, and it's a difficult one. You also can't help but feel like, damn, though we could have done this, But if we are being perfectly honest, these guys have exceeded our expectations.
I was actually going to ask you, like, is it time for a professional league? Like, is it time that we take investing in the women's game very seriously, considering what they have done at this World Cup?
100%. It's overdue.
Yeah.
We really have. I mean, because now we are really going to get to a point. If we miss this opportunity, I'm fearful of what's going to happen with the women's game, because this generation of players has got what it takes to take us to the next level. But we really have to capitalize on what we have right now in terms of organizing the game domestically. So that professional league has to come. And it's got to be, I think right now, it's a very difficult one, because you'll hear the PSL clubs will tell you that the reason why they don't have a women's team is that they don't have the resources, They just see it more as at this stage, they don't see it as an investment that they are going to be making. It's just another burden for them, because hey, we're struggling to pay the salaries of a men's team. How are we going to manage paying a professional women's side? So it's important that if we are going to do it as well, we do it properly. We're not just paying it lip service, because we have to respect the game, and do it properly. Otherwise, we're going to mess it up. And then in messing it up, we're just going to set the women's game back. We're going to set them back by a number of years.
But the DSTV Premiership is back. We're all excited. But the one question, you've watched this game so many times. I mean, do you think it's going to be Sundowns 7 times in a row? How are you feeling about it?
It's such a difficult question to answer after the first weekend of matches. Yeah. But I mean, if we're going to base it on the first weekend of matches, it's like, everybody's chasing Sundowns again. It's scary looking at the quality in that side, and what they've brought in. I mean, that Ribeiro is the real deal. I think we just saw flashes of what he can do. I think he's going to be quite a player for them. Who will challenge them? Again, first game thing, it's a small sample that we're working with here, but SuperSport look good.
Yeah.
They look like they've signed well. They were up against a really poor Richards Bay side, so that's worth putting out there. That Richards Bay side is going to struggle. Orlando Pirates, well, hey, they got caught by Esteli's side that knows how to play the conditions. They know how to play the conditions. I think it was one of those miserable Western Cape days. I don't know if you've ever been to Cape Town. This time of it. Wet, cold, it's miserable. Gauteng players hate going there. And it's always been the case. But I think Pirates have got enough quality also on their side to compete. I think they will push Sundowns.
Yeah, I mean, they beefed up. They beefed up quite a bit. They brought in Okadisa, Butelezi, Kapinga's also coming to the side, and they won 2 trophies last season. I mean, surely, what would you expect of an Orlando Pirates side? I mean, chasing Mamelodi Sundowns, but what would your expectations be of them? For them to close the gap?
Surely the next logical step is to be winning the title, the Premiership,
Yeah.
But it's easier said than done, because while Pirates have moved and have strengthened, Sundowns are not standing still, So I think, well, first of all, as you say, close the gap. That has to be the priority. I mean, they can't be. What was the total? What was the gap in the end last season?
It was like exactly.
You can't have that.
Yeah.
First and second, like the gap between this is Farmers League stuff, as we like to call it. This is the stuff if you buy and win, stroll to the league. Even the Bayern has struggled to win the league last season. But you can't have the gap between Sundowns, Pirates, and Chiefs being more than 20 points. It's not healthy either for the league.
I mean,
you need...
Like, sorry, man, you actually mentioned the whole it can't be healthy, and I know that too in terms of it can't be healthy. And I look at these two Soweto teams, Giants, as well as I'm including Kaizer Chiefs into the mix. You've been around this space for such a long time, as you've mentioned. People actually forget, like, Chiefs used to always compete for trophies every single year. People forget the seasons that Orlando Pirates won trebles. Are you disappointed that the Soweto teams have made Sundowns win 6 times in a row and potentially going on to number 7? Are you disappointed that the competitive edge has it left?
Totally. I am very disappointed. It's great to, even for Sundowns, you can see it's not helping them either, because when they go into the Champions League, suddenly, they're coming up against teams that are not necessarily better than them, but that are just more competitive, that put up more of a fight and present them with problems that the local teams are not doing. I just don't understand how it has happened that the Chiefs and Pirates have fallen this far behind, particularly Pirates, because unlike Chiefs, I think the Pirates are always beefing up their squad, and they're always beefing it up with the best available talent, I would say. It's debatable whether you can argue the same for Kaizer Chiefs about the quality of players that they bring in. But if you look at Pirates, they actually match, if not surpass, Sundowns in terms of numbers of players that they bring in on every season. And this season, again, they've brought in more players than Sundowns, I think, if you were to do the sums. And so I don't understand how it is that they've fallen so far behind. I think one of the biggest problems with Pirates has been the fact that they keep changing their coach. I think I'd like to believe that if Joseph Tinbauer had stayed longer, Pirates might have come closer, to winning the league last season. I think this current coach as well maybe needs to be just left alone and go about what he wants to do. And he's already gotten them 2 trophies last season, in his first season. So what more if now he knows the league, he's familiar with the league, he knows what he's got in terms of his players. And so surely now you just need to leave him alone and let him get it done. So they've got what it takes to get there. Chiefs, I'm not so sure about Chiefs. I'm not convinced in terms of playing personnel that they've got the quality to win the league. When it comes as well to what they've got from a technical team, the technical team, I'm not convinced either. I think that the decisions they are making there in terms of their coaching department is bizarre, really. You say Athazwane has failed. Well, that's what you mean if you're going to demote him, but then you keep him on the bench. You are confused. I think even for the players, it's going to get a little confusing here, because you're going to get a coach who was there last... I don't know where else it happens in the world. Where the guy who was in charge suddenly now is an assistant. Unless it was clear that he's there in a caretaker role, that, he was acting, head coach until another person was found. But the way they've done it here, what is the message? One moment I'm an assistant, and then I'm the head coach, and then I'm an assistant again. And then, by the way, these are the same people that were together last season. Molefi Ntseki was at every game last season. He has got direct line with the coaches. What message is he going to be imparting that wasn't there last season when he was technical director? So I don't know that the players trust him enough, So it's or belief in him. I was at the Chiefs the launch function when I was there. They had Neil Tovey, Max Maponyane, and Dr. Kumalo among the guests there. Those guys commanded more attention and, adulation from those who were there. There was more of a buzz about their presence than those of the players. The current players have not put themselves in a position where they are stars, and I think that this is something they're going to have to, I don't know how you teach it or expose people to say that, to make them understand the club that they're playing for. Kaizer Chiefs is a big club, and as such, they should be a big club both on and off the field. I just feel like they don't have players with star quality. And if they do feel they do have players with star quality, those players must stand up and show us. I just don't think they've done it. And if Pirates are some way back from catching Sundowns, Chiefs are even further back. They're not even in terms of contenders. I put SuperSport ahead of Kaizer Chiefs in terms of teams that can beat Sundowns to the title.
I see. And only got 9 minutes left, but I wanted to, a short answer I would probably ask is that, do you think, being at the awards and stuff, do you think players do not understand the magnitude of playing for a Kaizer Chiefs? And who would you actually place that responsibility on to actually understand that? If Bule becomes a commentator at SuperSport or Shakes becomes a commentator at SuperSport, is it up to Thabiso to let him know that you must understand the role, or should I just already understand that it's a big role, I must understand it?
Tough question, Shakes. I don't know whose responsibility it is. There's enough people at Kaizer Chiefs who know what being a Kaizer Chiefs player is. Between Bobby Mutaung, Mr. Mutaung himself, between all of those people, former players, people like Itumeli Nkune, who's now, I'm thinking now, if I look at that squad, is he the only player there that won a trophy with Kaizer Chiefs now in the current squad?
Yeah, Matoa left recently.
Yes, Tawa left now. So that would leave the only players. Those are the players that know what it means to win. So I think maybe Kaizer Chiefs need to bring in their old players a bit more and in a more meaningful role, not just in them coming and telling them about in our times we used to do this, but that can have a role in terms of some kind of advisory role about the kind of players that the team needs to be bringing in. And also, let's just be perfectly honest, if it's a resources thing, Kaizer Chiefs must come out and say so, and then they must act accordingly. Listen, the game has changed all over the world. The days, if it means Chiefs must bring in investors to bring in more money into the club, that's what must happen.
I have to say this, Thabiso Tema, you've been a great guest for me, man. Just want to say thank you so much for the support you show. I've never met you, but immediately you just started liking my content and retweeting it and showing support and stuff. And for that, it means a lot. It means really a lot to me. And I know that it takes a lot to be at the stages that you guys have been, because I hope my audience as well watches and knows that he's been in the game since the 90s. And to have that level of consistency is out of this world. So I just want to say thank you so much.
Great, Shakes, man. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's an absolute pleasure and a privilege to have been on your show. And I've supported what you do because your passion for the game comes through. I love what you do. I can see you're obsessed about the game. You probably watch even more matches than I do across the board, not just PSL. You are obsessive about the game, and it comes across because kind of when you the way you talk about the game, it's clear about that you are somebody who invests a lot. You're a big student of the game, and I'm just excited to see your tenacity as well. The fact that you stuck with this thing, you have grown it, and your effort. It's often said, and I think people underestimate this, that just go and find your passion and push it hard. The rest will come. The money will come for you as well. You didn't go out searching for sponsors first and all of that, but that's all gonna come. And I just hope I'll be here to watch you and support you grow from strength to strength, as I'm a great fan of what you've achieved and what you are going to achieve.
Yeah, no, man, I appreciate it, man. And hopefully we will do this again sometime in the season, man. I really have loved having you as a guest.
I'd love to do it anytime, man. Anytime.
Keep well, take care, and enjoy the rest of your day, man.
You too, man. Enjoy the games later. Good luck to you, Amakosi.
I need it.
Who was up to par and who became our star, but also Who fell short in this game we all love? Let's find out on Moegoe of the Week. Star of the Week, Thabiso Tema. It has to be him, right? I mean, he came on for Mamelodi Sundowns, he made a difference, created a goal as well. I have to tell you, some of the wingers at Mamelodi Sundowns have to watch out. He's going to push them, no doubt. As for the Moegoe of the Week, I've gone with Orlando Pirates coach. Yes, I've gone with him. Jose Rivera is my Moegoe of the Week. And I'll tell you why. I mean, man was so naive. I mean, he was naive. For me, I mean, how he set up his team against Stellenbosch, who is so dangerous in counter-attack. I mean, look at that starting 11. I mean, they're the strikers up front, the midfielders are pushing forward, and as well as the fullbacks are pushing forward. Jose, who's covering the goalkeeper? It seems like there's nobody to cover, and that is how Stellenbosch scored their goal. So the Moegoe of the Week, Orlando Pirates coach, congratulations. It's time for Bet of the Week. Get ready to win big by placing the right bets on the right games. Let's jump into my bet slip for this week. Mamelodi Sundowns going up against Kaizer Chiefs. I mean, that game has to be there. I've gone with an over 2.5. Amazulu going up against SuperSport United. I've gone with either team to win. So I've double chanced it for either team to win. And Spain versus the Netherlands. I've gone with Spain overall winner to win the match. And Japan going up against Sweden. Japan overall winner as well. And last but not least, the Premier League is coming back. I've gone with Burnley versus Manchester City over 1.5. The odds 8.09. Maximum win 3,100. If you want to win with me, click on the link below. Remember to practice responsible betting at betway.co.za. We've come to the end of the show. Banyana. Simply no words, just an applause. And for you that's watching, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified for future episodes.